As you can see above, the Iron Thistle is awarded to an individual or couple who represent the thousands of faithful Covenant College alumni that God has used to impact His kingdom and world as faithful stewards and lovers of Jesus Christ. I'm honored to recognize this year's Iron Thistle recipient, Bruce D. Young of the class of 1970.
I grew up in Japan as an MK. I went to college and to seminary to be a missionary back to Japan. So that was my motivation and desire in my life. My dad got a teaching position in Bible and Doctrine at Covenant. Covenant was a tiny college that not many knew about, but that was the incentive to come to a smaller college and learn how to integrate my faith to life. I majored in history and sports. Basketball, soccer, and baseball. I was a captain of all three for my junior and senior year. So you can see how I spent most of my time. And I met Susan at Covenant Seminary after college.
We were in the same small group, and I was friends with lots of his friends. So we had a very short courtship. He wanted to be in ministry. I wanted to be in ministry. I really liked the broad shoulders and a man that knew what he wanted to do with his life and that he wanted to do what I wanted to do. So the rest is history. 50 years of history, actually, together.
I grew up and spoke casual Japanese, but to be a teacher, I needed to sharpen up my speaking, reading, writing ability. So we ended up going to a language school for 2 years in Tokyo. After language school, our mission sent us further south, and we started our first church plant there, and that's where our second and third child was born. We enjoyed getting more familiar with Japanese and the culture and how to teach.
Bruce was really successful at everything that he did. I was the big cheerleader behind the scenes, I suppose. But as you do ministry, you have failures, you have struggles. And I think the thing that I saw in Bruce was his growth in grace and humility.
That's what this book is all about. Living in full view of the God of grace. Without the gospel, you can't identify it with the God of grace. So that was my story in Japan, I guess.
He didn't speak English till he was 6, and because his thought processes are more Japanese than American, his preaching in Japanese really touches the hearts of Japanese people. That was a real gift God gave him of being able to grow up in Japan. Just that preparation of him for ministry in Japan. We didn't retire, we just came home from the field and continued to work with MTW in Atlanta.
We traveled everywhere, encouraging new and older missionaries as we had the opportunity to do that. We attended a PCA church in Lawrenceville where we lived. We were there, 10 years or so, and moved up to Chattanooga after that, and that's where we have been for over 7 years now. It's been, what,
You're on our 5th year of ALS. They told us 2.5 years at the most, and it'll be 5 years on December 19th. Yeah. But his desire was to be able, at the end of his life, now that he's no longer in full-time ministry, was whatever he did with the rest of his life was for it to be for God's glory. And he didn't expect that this would be what the Lord would give him. But it is, and that's his determination to glorify God in it. So we decided when we got the diagnosis that this might not be the most enjoyable thing, but that because it's what God had given us, it was the best thing for us. We determined that every day was going to be our best day. So every day is our best day.
And our life has been so full. Being brought up in Japan means you are evaluated by your performance. And it's been a lifelong process to find my value in Christ, not in my own feeble actions. It's another way of saying that Christ is preeminent.
My friends in the Covenant College community, it is with great humility that I accept this award. For I am aware of all those who have received this award ahead of me, individuals who have played an important role in God's kingdom. But I believe this award says more about Covenant College's values than my accomplishments. Values that are summarized in the words of our hymn, All for Jesus. Oh, what wonder, how amazing. Jesus, glorious King of Kings, deigns to call me his beloved, lets me rest beneath his wings. I'm so thankful to the Covenant College and that it is committed to raising generations of people who are committed to working in God's kingdom and for his glory, so that in all things, Christ is preeminent.